Sonic has a really good chicken sandwich.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Sweet.
All right, cool.
All right, awesome.
Have fun, Dad. Love
Thank you. Love you too.
Are you live?
Yeah.
We could get that figured out.
Swipe up for next screen. I don't want to do that. Where's my chat? Okay. Oops. Hello. Okay. Subscribers only mode. What is up, Mr. Jackalope? Let me know if you can hear me. I've been having some problems and my OBS crashed, so I'm just trying to figure this out best I can. Chicken Man Dan, what is up? Welcome, welcome. Shell Bell, good to see you. Can you guys hear me? That's the first thing. Gringo, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Hear you loud and clear. Awesome. Well, this vertical thing is because I was trying something new and they said it's supposed to help. So, unfortunately, I know it's terrible to watch on your computers or whatever, but we'll see what happens. I figured I'd try it once, and if everybody really hates it, then, you know, we'll just change it up. What is up, Indigon? Thank you for coming. We're going to try and look through a box. I did get two new not brand new, but two new boxes of quarters and today, and they are both circulated, so that's good. So I'm going to open one of those because I did have some in the back waiting, but these are newer. So hey, Bo, having some trouble. Are you okay? I hope everything's okay. Trying to figure out the best place to look at my chat here. Vertical string bow. Not a vertical fan myself. Okay, okay. Well, we may not do this anymore, but I thought I would try it just for the heck of it and see what happened. So yeah, I'm going to try to make it quick. Basically, I'm going to look for the normal stuff of obviously silver, W's, big errors I can see, big varieties I can see, or special ones that I like to look at. Otherwise, I will probably just put some aside. I've got one of my little tubs for the stuff that I'll look at later. I do have, hopefully this works, my microscope hooked up, and if we do take a look at one of these things, I'll try to stick it under there and we can see what we find or not find. So thank you all for coming in. Well, I'll give you a like, but I dislike it. I'm a hater, as you know, so do your thing like hunting weird varieties. I will. Thank you, Gringo. I do appreciate you being here. You don't have to hang around for the whole thing. I'm going to try to get it started, get it going very quickly, because surprisingly enough, my daughter and her boyfriend, my daughter actually just, okay, so her boyfriend just bought a new computer and gave her the old one. So basically, she's downloaded Fortnite and they want to play some Fortnite after a while. So we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fun. But I'm just going to get to work on trying to hunt these things, and I appreciate everyone coming in. We got some 2025s. As a lot of you know, I've been doing those unattributed variety shorts this month, and there are a lot of things out there to look for. I can't tell what mint mark that is, but I'll stick it aside. So if anybody has any questions, that's a 2021 Philly. Those have possible DDRs. Tuskegee Airmen. I've got, you know, I get more Denver than anything. Feels weird on this side of the stream. Yeah, understand that. Oh, thank you, Shellbell. Michael Erickson, welcome. Thank you for coming. Yeah, you'll get to see somebody else just taking up somebody's time or people's time hunting through some quartas. What is that? I can't even tell what the what the mint mark is on that because it's so freaking dirty. If I can find where it should be on here. See, this is okay, it's a Denver. Yeah, it's all trial and error tonight because I was having some real problems trying to get my Streamlab or my OBS working, not my Streamlabs, and it ended up crashing on me. There's one of my favorites, my favorite designs, of course, as many of you know. Dun dun dun. I pull out. Is my camera upside down? Hang on. Order. Nope. Transform. Rotate. 180 degrees. There we go. I am learning, I will tell you that. Lyle, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Bo, thank you. I appreciate that. I was hoping that everyone would enjoy them. It's been a lot of work, but where do babies come from? I don't know. But I think a lot of people are liking them just because I'm trying to show stuff like different, some of the different coins that people don't necessarily look at right now because there's not like some big cherry pickers design or cherry pickers variety in there. And even some of the people that look for the small stuff don't look on some of these because I wouldn't have known about part of them except for the fact that I went out and I started just looking at every state or every, listing on Wexler's or Variety Vista just to try to get a good idea of what I could be looking for. And of course I like the very small stuff. But like I say, I get a lot of Denver stuff and we don't have as much to look for on the Denver minted coins. But I do like to pull some of them aside because I'm convinced that there could be some things too on the Denvers. So yeah. Alright, let's see. Can't make that large enough. You wanted to, but you hate Fortnite, but your boy and I play more than anything else. Well, Indigon, we could be friends on there and we could play if you want to play sometime. I mean, I'm not great, but I have fun doing it. I like playing the main games I play right now, which Gringo probably knows because I play with Kittle sometimes, but Fortnite and Rocket League. Those are my two go-to games right now. I play Fallout 4 and also a lot, well, not right now, but usually a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2. I played 1 as well, but those servers are pretty much wasted now because I don't think hardly anybody goes out on them. I will. Dirty Water, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Oh, look at that. We've got a great big error. Yeah. Where is it? Right behind his head. Okay. Not really. It's a big gash. But I like to pull those out, point them out as well for people because a lot of people have questions when they see weird things. Like I say, some of these may or may not have anything, but I'll look at them later. Hopefully we'll come across something good. I don't know if we'll see any of those nice new Liberty Bell quarters, but We might. I'm hopeful. Take a look at those. We've got a bicentennial. I do hang on to those and check those out. And yes, I look at both sides and I flip them over and I try to make sure I don't miss anything, at least nothing large enough to be seen with my thick Coke bottle bottom glasses. Hard to see your scope cam because it's behind the chat. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I do have a super close-up version. So maybe if I find something, I figured I'd switch over there. Like we could take a look at this first. I don't see any doubling. This is the bicentennial. And it's pretty easy to see. But let me know. It looks like that's a little bit better to look at. See, I thought of everything. Actually, I didn't, but, you know. I tried. Thank you. I will definitely switch over there if we find anything or want to look at anything. So what do you guys look for when you're hunting through quatas? Yeah, extreme close-up, that's right. I know what some of you look for, because we see it all the time on their channels. Ugh. These are so dirty. Still trying is still failing. What? That's Denver, thank goodness. Shorter list is what I don't look for. That's true. There's a lot to be looked for. Whoa. We've got a chopped up corner there. You always look at those to make sure they're not like clip planchets, but that definitely is not one. How come all of the potential W quarters are like trashed? It's not a bad looking Connecticut, but I don't really need that for the books. Another bicentennial, but that's Philly, so it won't have the doubling. I actually don't look for a lot of the stuff with names now that I think I... Yeah, Spitting Horse and God We Rust. Yeah, so I know when you kind of enter the... Or when when I kind of entered the scene, yeah, those were all the big things. You know, looking for those minor errors, and that's because I think a lot of people who don't really necessarily collect varieties are able to see and pull out very easily. And then, though, once you start doing it and you realize how many there freaking are, you just kind of... I mean, I've still got some, and that I'll tell you, that Spitting Horse, there is one, and I don't know if anybody's found one or not, but there is one that goes from the rim down past his mouth to the bottom left, all the way up through his head and all the way to the top of the quarter. Coin Curious, what is up? Good to see you. Did you go to the meeting last night? I was not able to, unfortunately. Look for the blind bat and the burning building. Yes, any big strike throughs is awesome. Quarter hunting, I might not. I just so did quarters 10 nights in a row. Well, change is good. Good to see you anyway. Thank you for swinging by. I'm not gonna go too intensive with it. I just thought we'd look and see if we could find anything, you know, pretty decent or not right off the get-go. So far, nothing too special, but of course me, I'm talking too much and not hunting enough. Strike-throughs are some of my favorites. I agree. Did not, unfortunately. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It probably wasn't too important, but, you know, it's always fun to go. Fun to go and hang out and sometimes buy stuff whenever they've got some decent stuff. No luck, sorry. Oh. Hang on one second. I'm going to try to... My mother is looking for the stream, so I thought I'd see if I could figure out how to send it to her. Share it with messages. Alright, so everybody talk nice about me if she comes in. It was a choice between a Bigfoot documentary or me, and here we are. Oh, nice. Well, at least, you know, at least I'm more entertaining than Bigfoot. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how it goes, but I appreciate you guys coming. Oh, big news. If anybody didn't know, what channel is Bigfoot? My channel. I did pass my 500 subscriber mark, so thank you for everyone that has subscribed. And I guess the shorts have been really helping people see my channel, which is good. So eventually, I think in September sometime, we're in August, right? Sometime in September, I'll post a video and I'm gonna do a live stream giveaway, and I think Lotus is gonna help me with that. And we'll try to do some giveaways in stream and from the video, comment video, and all that good stuff. Ooh, Denver District of Columbia. We gotta look at that. Love those shorts. Thank you, Coin Curious. I appreciate it. I think the reason the state quarter errors were so popular is there is almost 2 decades gap. 76, yeah, between Cherokee. Yeah, there is. There's a huge gap between Cherry Picker's Guide varieties, and still kind of going. I mean, I don't think there's any. What's the latest date in there? I think there was a pretty big gap even between the last one and now. Of course, they just printed the new one last year, but EPU, what is up? Good to see you, buddy. We're trying something new with some vertical streaming, and I don't know if I don't know if even I like it, but we'll see what happens. There's a nice Arkansas. What did Tennessee? What Arkansas? I can't. How come this camera won't focus? I need to get new cameras or something. I don't know. I don't know, they're terrible. Once I start making big YouTube money, I bet I can afford one. So it may be 10 or 12 years. Has anyone found the 66 DDR quarter? I have not. But I will say I do look at every one of them. Just you. I collect all the 2009s, always searching for them. Still haven't found a 2009 P dime. Well, I mean, I might have some of those around here. Might have to see what we can hook you up with. Christmas is right around the corner. You guys got to be ready. Time just flies, doesn't it? Bessie Coleman. 89 Philly. I think that's got a RPM or something on it. Oops. Have you seen the DDO on the 2023 Bessie Coleman quarter? It's quite impressive, and on a Denver. I looked it up and found one about 20 minutes later. It's definitely one to look for. The Bessie Coleman DDR. I'm trying to think if I have seen that one or not yet. I don't know. I have to go look and make sure. Pinch and zoom on the phone to get closer. Are you talking to me, EPU? Tom Honks? Whack whack. What's up, buddy? I think you're the only person alive about the 7071D. And what's up, Bacardi Jim? Thank you for bringing your buddy in as well. Good to see you guys. Gotta look at all those Zitkala saws. Because there's definitely some pepper in that fly poop. Or fly poop in that pepper. I don't know which way she says it. There's a good 2009. Pretty decent shape. American Samoa. Again, I don't know if it'll focus very well, but might hang on to that just because it's in decent shape. And the 2009s are a little smaller mintage. It's a DDO listed on Variety Vista. Okay. I will say I might have seen it, but there's so many on those American women's quarters, and I mean, you gotta love all the different doubled eyes, not double dies, but doubled eyes that are on the obverse of those coins, because there's some really, really nice ones. Ooh, that's a Philly. Gotta look at that. Might look at that. And I don't know if you're aware, on the Georgia Philly, there's potential doubling in the leaf on the peach, which most people will not look for. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat and do this at the same time. Definitely take me longer because I don't have my buddy with me right now. But that's okay, she's doing her thing. So, Red Kingdom, welcome. Good to see you. Glad you could come in. Double die eyes, that's right. I haven't come across anything too outstanding. I'll tell you this Juliet Gordon Law, I have never found, I don't think, a Philly But I keep looking because there's a very small DDR on her belt, I think, on the Denver. But it's terrible. You look for it, Bo? That's good. Definitely. I like to look for them all, basically. If I know that there's a possibility of them being there, I like to check, you know. Just because that's part of it that's fun for me. I know a lot of people don't like to look for that kind of stuff because it's just very time consuming, but I think it's fun. I know a lot of people that do. So who thinks we're going to find something good? Who thinks we'll find a W or a silver? And if you think that, which one do you think we might find first? Or if neither, then you can say neither, I guess. We may not find anything. Would make it a lot more fun if we did, though. Oops. That's a Denver. Dirty Water says W, and the dye chip on her hat. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those as well. 84 is not good. I don't know if anybody's also aware of this, but on this Vermont quarter, there's a really nice die clash, and I guess it was popular around the time that they started finding it, but it's a die clash, and it looks like the little child there or whatever is smoking. It's like, because it's like jaggedy kind of right around her or his head. And I only know because I bought one at a show one time for a couple of bucks. I'm saying you'll find a 65 on a silver planchet that's double struck. Oh my gosh. Change is good. That would be spectacular. I mean, I wouldn't mind finding anything on a 65, really. Vanessa, welcome. Good to see you. Better luck finding a W than a silver. Yep. Going Curious found a proof the other day. Nice. What roll am I on? I am now on roll. I started doing it weird, so hang on. I'm on roll 7. Sorry. Red Kingdom said silver. I don't want that. What did I do? Okay. So, Bacardi Jim, I know it gets really cold where you're at, so how hot is it? Because today, we were at our top was 104, feeling like 109, I think, is what they said. Gonna be sleepy. True. I will see that in my dreams, that's right. Silver Spoon, hey buddy, good to see you. I'm doing alright, how about you? Thank you for coming in. We are just hanging out and looking at some quarters, seeing if we can find anything spectacular. I'm bound and determined to find a nice DDR on a Wilman Mankiller, because I know I'm not going to find that double retained cud nice error coin. I'm pretty sure I'll never find one of those. Dirty Water, have you ever found one of those? I don't know if I've ever seen you. If you are streaming right from your phone, I think you can turn it to record in portrait mode and it will have a full view. No, actually I'm streaming with a camera. Would it be better if I had... I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do very many of these vertical, believe me. but I just thought I would try. I needed to open a box, so I thought it would be maybe quicker to try to do this that way. New Mexico has some DDRs on both the Denver and the Philly. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. There might be a short coming out about one of those in the near future. Not real sure. Dirty Water, have you found one of those double retained cuds on the Wilma Mankiller? That's what I was asking. Most of your July over 100. Now it's in the 80s, but the humidity kills me. Yeah. Doing a yard sale this weekend with Dig and Dave. I'm sure you're not going to put your coins out there, right? I don't know. A lot of people do sell their coins at the yard sales. Every time I go, I always ask, even if they don't have something out there, hey, you got any coins you're looking to sell? Because I've had people that they'll go back in the house and bring stuff out and be like, I don't know what this is worth. Got it from my grandfather or whatever, and I don't really want it. Sometimes you could probably find some cool things. Just got to be on the lookout. You have not. Well, I kind of feel good about that. Because I'm not going to say that I'm jealous of a lot of the things that you find, but I am. Most of mine are Denvers anyway, so I don't have much of a chance, but you never know what rolls around here. Let's pull that one out. Might look at that. I am convinced that I will someday find one of the low leafs or high leafs in my change, because they were supposedly dumped around this area. Vertical will help reach potential new viewers. Nothing wrong with occasional vertical stream. Well, thank you, Jackalope. I appreciate that. That's kind of why I thought, since I'm trying to, push the channel and all, and was hoping maybe I'd get some new people to come in if they are interested. Is that a fingerprint? Let's go to the close-up mode. Looks like some toning, but I don't think it's a fingerprint. It's just something. Might be dirty roller marks or something. You see it there between the those trees and the letters. Just interesting. Not worth nothing, but always interesting to find weird stuff. Oops. You want to crap to a ton of coins. That's true. Oh, good, EP. I'm glad it worked, because as I set up a first stream and I tried to get it going, and my OBS crashed. I don't know why that happened. What's up, Treasure and Change? Good to see you. Supposed to get down to 51 degrees on Sunday evening. Wow. I would love to have a 51 degree day. I'd much rather be at least cold, not ice cold, but I'd rather be cold than too hot. Denver District of Columbia. We might find one of those big DDRs one day too, so I'll pull those out. Looks similar to a fingerprint. Yeah. Possibly dirty rollers. It might be. Oh, come on. I'm making a mess with my paper, but that's all right. The New York actually has a couple of DDRs on the reverse. That may be another one that people are not too familiar with. It's right there on her hand where she's holding the book. Getting down to 49. I think our low tonight is like in the 80s. Because it's still supposed to be a high 90 day tomorrow. That's a good one. I should pull out the 79s, 80s to the side so we can weigh them. That's not a Philly. That's not a Denver. Mount hood. I know a lot of people save out the 2010s and that kind of thing too because they're a little bit lower mintage, but I do not most of the time unless they're in really good condition. Look at that. How many watch hours do you need to get monetized now? Well, I will say that I've gone up a few hundred with the shorts, but of course it's harder to go up, you know, with shorts. But I think I'm at like around maybe 500 if I'm lucky. So if I can get to what, 4,000 before the end of January, I might be able to get monetized before all that changes. He's scrolling through the chat and accidentally changing streams. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. No. I'll point this out too. This is about one of my least favorite designs. I'm sure that the effigy mounds at the state park or whatever look a lot better than the coin, but I will also say that I finally found there are some big die chips on these where the like dirt mounds are, and I finally have found a couple, and I'm like, at least there's something to look for on those things. TWSSS 70s and 80s dime planchet. Yes, Coin Curious. Is that what? That's what I meant by saving out the 79s. There's a 74 as well, and a 70. I think 70D. But I'll pull out all of the like 70, 74s, 79s, even the 80s. You know, because I think there's possibility of those all having dime planchet stock, being struck on dime planchet stock. Jim Thompson, welcome. Glad to see you. You're in North Carolina, Jim. How cold, or how cold? How hot is it there right now? Such a terrible coin design. I'm sure it's more impressive in person. Yes. Have you found some 26 Lady Liberty dimes yet? Yes, I have found a couple of them. I did have some luck. I did a short video on. I went to Dollar General and paid with cash because usually, they'll give you your pennies, at least right now. So I paid with cash and ended up getting one of the new dimes in my change. So I came back home and I had a box of dimes, so I grabbed a roll of dimes and I went back and I told the lady, or the girl there, she was a young girl, but I asked her if she would mind looking in her till and see if she had any more, and I would trade her if she wanted to, or if she would let me. And there was nobody there or anything, so she was like, okay, and she looked through her whole till and pulled out like 40 of them, almost a roll full of them. So I ended up getting a bunch that day, and those were all Philadelphia, which is crazy because I usually don't get any Philadelphia for a while. I'll show that in a minute. That's just a misaligned die. But those were all Philadelphia. I just recently got my first Denver the other day in change, which was insane to think that, I'd get Phillies before Denvers. Been a bit toasty here in Kitty Hawk, just a bit, sweating my butt off. Yeah. Okay, caught up on the chat. Let's see. Used to live in, is that Rocky or Rocy? Rachi. I don't know how to pronounce that. 5 from the gas station the other day, made it to August 15th before finding one. Yeah. Well, and as far as like quarters are concerned, I've been finding I don't even have I don't think a full roll of those Mayflower Compact, but that's the only one that I have found thus far. No, I have found a couple of the George Washington ones. What are those? What's the name of those? I forget. But it's the one with George Washington on it. There you go. You know what I'm talking about. My Georges are all from Denver. A lot of the Mayflower Compact have been from Philly, but then I have recently got 4 full boxes of the Mayflower Compact Denver quarters. And I don't know if you saw my, what was it, day 17 short from the 17th, but it was a Mayflower Compact, and there's some decent DDRs on those things. At least from the Philly. If it was the Denver, I'd be much more happy because I have all those to look through, but I was pretty excited about that. I've actually got, out of all the Phillies that I've pulled, I've found, I think, almost either 6 or 8 different double dies, not including, I don't even know if the one I found that I think might be Variety Vista DDR number 1, I don't even know if mine is that because it's hard to tell. It's a hard one to find, I think. At least in my Revolutionary War. That might be what it's called, yeah. Love that area my wife taught in tech. Da, da, da. Oh, nice. 19th like. 19! We got 19 likes? Holy crud. Thank you guys so much. Good to see you though, Wolf Metals. Glad you could make it in. What the heck is the fast food place they have there? Oh, you're talking about in North Carolina. I have been through North Carolina, but I have never lived there. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It's a pretty nice place. And when I say nice, I mean it's pretty. It's not too bad. Bojangles in Smithfield. Customer quarter roll. Ooh, are you hunting rolls, Dirty Water, right now? Are you saying you've got a heavy one? Because you can tell me all day long how many grams your roll is, and I have no clue if that's way heavy, just barely heavy, or whatever. Because I don't really do that. I don't generally weigh them. Because I will say I tried to a couple of times, and it just throws me off. That's a nice coin, actually. That could have a DDR on it. We'll take a look at that after a while. I gotta get going though here, or I'm gonna be here all night. Oh wait, nope, gotta look at those. The 90s were the worst for the Washington quarters when you're talking about varieties and stuff. Ron, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. 227 normal-ish, and you said it was 239? Wow, well, maybe you've just got an extra quarter. Maybe you got some silver. Old stats for a video I'm about to make. Absolutely dunk on. Nice. Break my head. You say it's because I deserve better. That's an intro quote from a song. Are you singing to us, Treasure and Change? No. No. That one we gotta look at all of them. This one we gotta look at all of them. Some of the newer ones, I just choose to look at both Philadelphia and Denver because there's just so much being found, little stuff, but I don't like to pass it up and think, well, what if it was and I didn't look? Diane B, thank you for coming in. Welcome, welcome. Yes, the coin community on YouTube is pretty cool. I think there's a couple of more communities out there. I've seen, sometimes you run across just random channels or whatever, and I always look in the comments because I'm like, why did this pop up on my feed? It's somebody that's been around for maybe, a while or not or whatever, and I like to see if anybody that I know has ever seen them, and sometimes nobody. Alex, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, Ron. Hit that like if you will. I can't believe we're already up to what? Oh, I'm showing like 23 now. Gee, Willikers. Thank you, guys. Have I found anything yet? Hey, Detectable Collectibles, I have not yet. I've got a few to check, which we'll do here in a little bit. And that one that's under the scope right now is just a misaligned die, so it's not really anything of any huge value, but just put it up there. Silver, good luck. I hope we find something. Silver, W's. I've been doing pretty good. I think I've been averaging like a W a box or so on average. Change is good is up to, I think, well, he's over 500 W's that he's found. I think I have found 98. So I'm looking to bridge that gap and get to 100. that one's nasty, but it's a Denver, so I'm not going to pull that one out. Some of these Philly Apostle Islands, there's some really big die chips up on the top of this little mountain right there. There's also some down here by the guy in the boat, some over here by the lighthouse. I've found a couple that are pretty decent size though, so I kind of check, because I'm not going to keep them if they're real tiny, but the bigger ones. I do. Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? I'm calling 2 W's and NIFC a nice DDR in this box. Well, hopefully we'll find some good stuff. FS varieties come up. Michael's got 4 or 5 W's, I'm assuming. Let's see, got my volume back. Kids are asleep. Oh, nice. Guessing 1 silver, 1 W. That would be nice too, Silver Spoon. I mean, or either one of, it's a good box if you find any of that stuff. Now, if we were to hit the jackpot, I would say a jackpot coin would be like a bicentennial DDO, something like that. Haven't found any Madison quarters yet in my lifetime, right? I'm not seeing any silver yet. Come on, we are at roll, oh god, 13. How long am I taking? Way too long. Alright, let's go. New dump box. I'll be on here boring you longer than Indigon Demon does. Privy coin jackpot, that would work. Hey, if I even found one of those quarters, that would be, a plus, because then I would also know that they're starting to get out there in my area. But I keep talking to the people, like I talked to the people at the bank today when I went and picked up these boxes, and they haven't seen any of them at all either. And, they keep telling me that, that they, people come in and they're asking for them all the time. I did find the Tuskegee burning building when that was big. Well, that's awesome, Michael. I found a little, like I didn't find a huge burning building, but I found a little one, which is pretty sweet. At least for me, I guess. I'm hoping more W's and nickels. These people near me can't keep the nickels out of the quarter rolls. I don't find a lot of nickels in my quarter rolls, which is surprising. Oh, the Madison's the new one. I got you. I can pour people a lot faster. Have you found the Tuskegee Clash? I have not found that one, Dirty Water. But I do, I try to keep an eye out for them for sure. Oh, that's Denver. I want the Bicentennial Clash. Yep. That would be nice. I've got some, I thought about doing a video on just like a variety of different clashes, because I've got some that are kind of different. I don't know if you've seen, there's one on the, which one am I thinking of? Oh, I don't remember which quarter it is. I've got a couple though that are not talked about very much. So I thought about maybe doing something like that. Just because I think it's one of my favorite things, and I think the reason why it's my favorite era is because it's the first thing that I understood when I started collecting and stuff. Because I could see it and I could tell what it was. It was not necessarily like, oh, it's a DDO or DDR or whatever. Oh, there's one on the like this one, the Helen Keller. There's a clash right above like her chair there, where her chair arm is, and I've got one of those that's pretty nice. There's also a DDR there. That's why I look for that. But yeah, it was the easiest for me to recognize. Full box medicine. Look for new errors. Yep. Totally agree with that. I can send you pics if you want. Yeah, if you want to, Shellbell, send me some pictures. I'd love to see it. MTN, what is up, buddy? Good to see you. That's a pretty nice Oklahoma, but I don't need an Oklahoma. I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. There's like 20 people in the chat, it looks like. Thank you so much. And yeah, Indigon, I love Clashes so much. Man, that DDR 142 on the the whatchamacallit, the oh my god, now I can't even think. Not the Homestead, the Harper's Ferry. Why can't I think of that immediately? That's one of my favorite coins. That's what happens when you get old. Start losing your memory. I forget what the next thing is they say that you start losing. You're way better at this than I am. I don't think so, Indigon. Not sure why most errors are on Philadelphia. Well, Silver Spoon, I think there's a couple of thoughts behind that. I don't know if you could, usually, number one, Philadelphia tends to mint more coins than what Denver does in a lot of cases. So that could be one, because they use the dies longer and they let them wear out. The other thing is just quality control. And, everybody talks about Denver having a, better quality control. It's like, how many varieties have we seen on like West Points? I mean, I try to look, but I haven't found any, and I don't know of anybody that's found any. And I think it's because there were just so few minted. They probably took their time, when they were hubbing the dies, whenever they were getting them minted, changing out the dies earlier or whatever. Yes, Harper's Ferry EPU, thank you. Elevation, possibly? That could be it, too. They're high. Or higher. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say that. There's a P Ozark Riverways. Let's go. Those have some pretty decent ones on there. Some pretty decent double dies. Ooh, we'll check that one for an earring. Actually, I'll pull that one out, too. We may look at that. Whoa. That's reflective. I thought, is that a proof? But that's a Denver. It's just kind of made its way through being bright and shiny. Ubers keep messing with my cubby. So many Juliet Gordon laws. Oh, that's filling okay. re-rolling dimes right now. You do the time, do the crime, pay the time. So treasure and change, I just go to the banks that don't require rolling. Just dump them in their coin return. Yeah, Indigon's saying that too. I dumped dimes in my bank's coin counting machine today. So much easier. You know, the only thing I don't like about doing the dimes in the coin machine, and Dirty Water can attest to this because he finds them all the time, but my dimes get counted as pennies, so they're going into the wrong hopper. And that's where they're probably going up there and he's finding them. I tried to explain that to one of the tellers and it just was going over her head. I don't know why. Nickels only get 2 boxes worth. Never dump dimes, always reason. Yeah, exactly. Only machines near me have 200 maximum before they start charging. Whew. Well, like in our area, if you go to a bank and you dump, then they're going to charge you just like if you went to like Coinstar or whatever. But if you have an account with them, then they don't. So I just open accounts and leave some money in there, you know. And occasionally I do some transactions with them because I don't want them to feel like I'm just taking advantage of them. Oh, I don't get very many I to B wells. And that's a filly. So we'll have to see if there's anything on that one. Picked up 2 boxes of pennies. Oh, that's good. Yeah, some places people have still been able to get boxes of pennies. Others, I hear, can't get one to save their lives, so... I think there was a lot of hype, you know, at the beginning of the year and all that when it was like, oh gosh, gonna stop minting and all that, and then everybody rushed to try to get them and couldn't. Oops, that's Denver. Just like those privy quarters, man. Everybody out there getting that. If under $200, so pennies and nickels are only for me. Huh? I got you. Tellers always try and guess your totals when you show up. That's hilarious. It's Denver, Massachusetts. My bank's still not giving out pennies by the boxes. 2 rolled per person and 5 rolls for a business a day. Wow. That's pretty tight for a business, too. Philip the Board, how are you, my friend? I have not seen you around in a while. Good to see you. Sloppy Stacks, welcome in. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. I didn't know if I'd have very much success just popping on without anybody, you know, really knowing I was coming on or anything. Tuner, what is up? Thank you for coming in. Tell them that things are back to normal. Yeah. I guess it depends on, you know, some banks, of course, just don't really like to order and stuff because people will, like for example, I mean, one of the banks that I pick up from, and I'm not talking to you, Change is Good, because Change is Good is good at getting me some boxes and stuff, but my bank up here, like they were telling me, like, you know, a lot of people coming in asking for quarters, for the new quarters and stuff, and wanting to order from them, and they're saying basically they don't just let anybody order because they always bring them back and then they're stuck with them. So, as I learned in the early goings on from people that coin hunted, I don't ever dump my coins at a bank that I pick up from because, it's, I don't know, just a pain in their butt. Why do they have to deal with all of your stuff, I guess? So I kind of felt special because they were like, but you don't do that, so we'll get you boxes. We'll keep getting you stuff. Doing pretty good. Hope you're doing well. I am doing all right, Philip the Board. Good to see you. Good to see you. That's that. Patsy's. We got to look at all those. There's the Northern Mariana Islands. It's Denver. It's not in great shape, though, so like that one I won't keep. And mostly it's because, I could keep all of them, but I've already got rolls upon rolls of junk that I don't think it's going to really be super expensive or valuable in my time frame, and I don't need to just sit on it here. I'm sure like everyone else, I've just got piles of stuff everywhere that I'd love to get rid of. I even have piles of stuff that I know are, things that I've found, but then I put them in a spot and I'm like, I'll come back to it later, and then I get on to everything else. Always tell the tellers I promise to never bring them back. That's good, yep. And I do have, I have my tellers ask me a lot, if I've found anything and what I found or whatever, and it's fun to talk to them about it. They're not, I don't think they're going out looking for stuff, but I think they're interested in what is it that I'm doing with all these coins that I'm picking up. It's oddly colored. It's just a big treasure hunt for sure, Sometimes we find stuff, sometimes we strike out. Don't defecate where one consumes sustenance. That's true. That is true. I hope I haven't missed anybody coming into the chat. I've been trying to keep my eyes on it. But if I haven't said hello, let me know and I will say hello to you for sure. I am very happy that we've got this many people coming out. Maybe there's nobody else on tonight, huh? The Bigfoot sounded pretty good to me, but... $69. Pull out all the 60s just in case. Take a look at them. Is this Kansas? No, this is Apostle. So this is, oh, yeah, so let me go over to my close-up cam real quick. So I was just trying to show you this that is a little bit of a misaligned die there. It's thicker on this side than on this side on the rim. You can see how it kind of disappears down there. But the obverse is just how it should be. This one has a little bit of that grease strike through, like when we're talking about the In God We Rust. This is on a Denver, but you can see kind of that, where that grease has gone all the way up through there, and it's kind of taken out some of those letters. But this one's on one of the Apostle Islands quarters, which is, it's a little different, but interesting, always catches my eye. I educate my tellers too much. Yeah, you can't give them too much information. But I would be happy, you know, if they were like, oh, you know, I'm going to come watch your videos on YouTube. I mean, hey, if they want to learn, come on out. How is selling on eBay? That probably depends on what you have to sell. I have been not having great luck recently, but like a couple of months ago, I had just a bunch of stuff selling. And a lot of my stuff is just little piddly things anyway. But every little bit, you know, gets your store going and all that good stuff. Janice, welcome. I've only been able to see Philadelphia coins since I'm on the East Coast. Well, you know, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing to have a lot of Philly coins. Because there is a lot to find. You can also find the In God We Rust quarters on the California examples. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I guess there's a chance to find them on any coin, because all it is getting grease on there. Each nickel contains 7.53 cents worth of metal. I heard they might be switching to zinc soon. Yeah, they have been talking about that detectable. Oops. Which I don't know. The zinc cents are pretty horrible. Let's pull that one out. It's just if that, like on the zinc cents, that copper plating is just so very thin that when it, you know, gets broken or cracked or anything and moisture gets in there, it's just death for that coin, because that zinc rot starts and then you're out of luck. I will say I try really hard. Boy, that one's beat up. I try really hard not to put too many, because with my pennies, actually, I will say I've got like, I have bags and bags upon bags of pennies because I don't hunt them very often. And my mother, who I don't think has ever come into the chat, she has been going through a ton of coins for me and separating them into decades and then even dates, so that when I do hunt them, it's going to be, I'm probably going to have to like make some videos and be like, here's this year, and there's hundreds of that particular year that I'm going to look for whatever it is, and I want to focus on, you know, some of the big varieties and things like that. But so when I get really crappy Zinkins that are all eat up, I'm not keeping those, and it's hard not to put them all in one big roll and just take them back to the bank. But I know someone would hate me for that if I did. Yeah, we might look at that. Oof. Oh my lord. Okay. Well, I am taking way too long. Zinc has much lower number on all metal detectors. Mine just has a beeping noise because I have a really cheap metal detector. Which one of you coined the phrase Zinkle? I love it, yeah. So mine just beeps. It doesn't really have, I mean, it's got a little thing on it, but like, I'm not sophisticated to know, oh, That really sounds like a silver or something to me. I need to get out and do some more of that because I do enjoy it. Usually I metal detect on the beach because that's the funnest place and the easiest place. I don't have to dig very hard. All these Denver coins, come on. Can we see maybe a West Point or something? Someone would hate you and they'd do the same thing, yeah? Trade my zincs for new rolls my workplace gets. Get them out the door. There you go. That's a good idea, Tuner. If you've got the access, you know, take advantage of it. I certainly would. I certainly would do that myself. Just like those individuals who are, you know, lucky enough to work at the bank and smart enough to know what's out there, at least like silver-wise or whatever, when people come in. I mean, they have the opportunity to pull stuff out of their tills maybe, or if somebody dumps stuff into their machine and they happen to recognize that, hey, there's something in there, possibly buy that bag. Don't know of anyone who would do that. Eric, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Still no privy in your area, EP? Are you checking eBay and stuff for their sales and kind of keeping track of, I think that's what you're doing, right? Keeping track of where those sales are coming from. And you're going to let us all know, right? Just so we know who has a better chance. Yes, you are. Well, thank you, Eric, and I appreciate Dirty Water for posting that. My first real job was a bank teller. I would have the old coins for an older, save the old coins for an older gentleman that collected coins. There are a lot of tellers that will do that, you know, for people, and it's great to get to know your tellers. I usually like to, you know, like around Christmas time or something, I'll bring like Starbucks gift cards or donuts or something in and give them to the tellers just because they've been good to me all year. At least it will be easier to tell a nickel apart from a pull tab. Well, yeah, let's hope so. Ooh, there's another nice one. What's going on with the Mount Rushmores being in good condition? That one's in rough condition, but has the potential. Philadelphia Denali, those have DDRs. E3P, yes. Ugh. There's a Harper's Ferry that's horrible. There's another Denali. Minnesota does. I don't know if there's been any DDRs on the Minnesota from Denver coins or not. I haven't looked in a while, but I'll check them anyway. Maybe it'll double all the chances. There you go. Change is good. That would be great. Unfortunately, all the luck will probably end up on your side. Are you hunting a bag of quarters, or are you hunting a what? You usually do bags. Still not seeing any fancy silver stuff. If we can't find silver, though, let's at least find us something good. Bags are fun, less work than opening rolls. Yes, they are. I just can't get anybody to sell me bags. My one bank used to, and then they changed management and decided they didn't want to do that for some reason. I guess I need to go talk. I think they've changed managers again now, so I probably need to go talk to him again. I'm attributing some 50-60 RPMs and watching. Oh, nice, Eric. Attributions are always the kind of worst part in some cases, just because depending on how many there are, you know, out there. Wait, is that a... That's Philly, but it's in horrible shape. Everglades. Shenandoah. When we went to the bank today, I was basically either hoping I would get, if I was going to get another brand new full box, I was just hoping for the Liberty Bells, but if not that, then circulated is definitely better for me right now. Something better to hunt. Gonna have to rearrange my stuff here. I don't want these falling on the floor. Can you tell your bank teller that you are doing a YouTube channel? Oh, you can. Yes. Well, yes, absolutely. And thank you for coming in, Gerald. I haven't really said that to them, I guess. I don't know if I've talked to them about it or not. I know there's one kid, I call him a kid because I'm old, but probably in his early 20s. But there's one guy there that I think I've talked to about, because he was kind of really interested in what it was I was looking for and stuff. I don't know if he's interested enough that he's going to start doing it, but he showed interest, you know. He might have been just being nice to, you know, an old guy or whatever, but... Alfred R., what is up, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Every time I go to the shore, I put $40 into the bill breaker for the kids, but I always check them this season. I got 3 silver. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. So you plant them for the kids, and they go hunt them? Is that what you do, Janice? But that's awesome, finding, you know, getting some silver out of those things. Not that one. 81 Chili. I've always thought about that. I've wondered if anybody that I, you know, go on vacation with or whatever feels sorry for me when I'm not finding anything, and they just throw something out and see if I can find it. Here's what's funny. I normally go when we've been going on vacation. I usually go to Gulf Shores. They play the arcades. Okay, good, gotcha. Um, we usually go to Gulf Shores, and that's where I do my stuff or whatever. And there is there's a lot of guys out there that I'm just showing this for all you spitting eagle lovers. Whoops. If I can get it, I'm in the wrong position. Well, anyway, we've got a spitting eagle there. This is an 88 though, but it's just a little die clash. Nothing really all that cool, but I mean, they are cool, I guess, but not worth anything. But yeah, so I started talking to like one of the guys there and was asking him, what he's found. It's obviously I want to know. Is there a chance to find something good? There usually is when there's people involved, and beaches are always packed. So, but what was funny was apparently this one guy that I talked to, he did detecting in the water, so he's got a waterproof one and all that good stuff. Mine is not. But he said, do you know what the number one thing that I find? Because he said, obviously I find watches, I find cell phones, I find all that kind of stuff. But the number one thing that I find when I'm searching in the water, paper clips. And I'm thinking, why are people out here? What are they using paper clips for? Or is it off of some, ship that's out in the ocean and, people throwing their paper clips off? I mean, I don't know. That was very weird to me. Wait, who just came in? Gatita! Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Drive to Jersey Shore. They still have those older machines. It's a double win for me and the kids. That's awesome. We have a place here, that's down. It's in my hometown, which is south of me. But there's a place called Arcadia, and this guy has got all the retro games from the 80s and 90s and stuff, and he charges you like $5, and you can go in and just play as long as you want on any of the games. You just pay $5 to get in, basically. And it's really cool. It's a really cool place. I think you should charge more, just because. I mean, if you were to go to like Dave and Buster's, you know how much you're going to spend. I mean, you play 5 games and you spent $40. Of course, they do have some really cool, those 3D video games at Dave and Buster's. I do like those too. I was just out detecting in the woods, found an 1875 map of my road, and there were some home sites right where I live. I spent my time digging all the shallow stuff today. Lots of nails. Well, once you get past that, you may get to where you're finding some good stuff, though, right? How did you find that map? Because I've heard of, I've watched some different channels. I like metal detecting. I'm just not great at it, and I don't have all the time I want to go do it. But I have heard of them like getting on maybe a website or something and looking, because you can find where like old schools have been and stuff like that in your area. Is there a way that you go and do that? Who did I miss? Treasure Hog, what is up, buddy? Thank you for coming in. Oh, thank you for posting, EP. I appreciate that. And I know I'm taking too long. If anybody needs to evacuate, go ahead. I won't feel bad, believe me. I just need to shut my trap more and hunt my stuff faster. That's all. We're almost halfway through the box. So if I can get on it, maybe we'll not be here all night. Still looking for that bright shiny, and I don't see any of that. There's another kind of misaligned die on this Connecticut. Oops. Hang on. My daughter is texting me, so I better answer that real quick. 5 rolls around fast in the morning. Yes. Good night, Shellbell. Thank you so much for coming in. That's how you miss stuff when you speed run your hunts. That's right, Wolf. I totally agree. Sent that email. Okay. I will definitely look, and I will email you back. But thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it. Always good to see you guys. Lots of opportunities here to have a West Point, but no such luck yet. Whoa. That's a very bright and shiny Wyoming. It's kind of got the weak strike around the edge of it, but not terrible. I'll see if that's a book upgrader. Probably not, but... You mean your daughter isn't watching? Well, you know, she's got better things to do. I was saying earlier that she, her boyfriend got a new computer, so he gave her his old one, and they downloaded Fortnite on it, and she was wanting to play some Fortnite. Oops. So maybe, whoops, my bucket is full. Maybe whenever I get done, we will play a round or two. Well, still no silver, nothing like that. The most expensive free game ever. That is correct. Fellows Forge, hello. Good to see you. I am doing well. I hope you are well. Yeah, they even take like their like I've been playing Droid Tycoon. Those tycoon games are where you build up your hotel or your house or your whatever it is. And Droid Tycoon is a Star Wars one where you build droids. And we can look at that torn up one. And now they've put some things in there that you can, pay to make the game easier or whatever. And these kids are probably running up their kids' or their moms and dads' credit cards. G-Dub, welcome. BH Ringer, hey, good to see you guys. Thank you for coming in. Not a gamer by any stretch, but Fortnite is insanely fun for what it is. It is fun, yeah. It is fun. I do like it. Worst part of the dimes? Explosion. Truth. That's for sure. Good night, Ron. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully, we'll do this again soon sometime. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that are leaving or not, make sure you come and join us tomorrow night on our Live Coin Q&A channel, because we will be streaming, and I know there's some good stuff, good information that's going to be shown off tomorrow, so make sure and come see that one. I'll look, but that's totally dirty. These Fort McHenrys, I have one that has a really huge die chip right there above his shoulder, like where the flagpole and the flag kind of meet. God, I wish I could get something to focus a little bit better. Anyway, there's that, but there's also some DDRs on his coat tail cuff or whatever it is there. So I do look through those. Thank you, Ron. Don't forget about day 20. That's right. Day 20 will be... I don't know if day 20 is like a real banger, but I think it's one that's different. If I recall, I will say that I have been trying to do them somewhat in advance. So right now I'm on like day 25, I think. I'm trying to get through them so that I can do more of this stuff and get rid of all these extra coins that I've got laying around that need to go back to the bank. Because fortunately or unfortunately, the bank keeps, ordering more. And if I don't get my funds out of being in change form, I can't buy new ones. They're all bangers. Thank you, Treasure and Change. Have I found a 75 quarter yet? No, I have not found a 75 quarter because those really don't exist. But thank you, Gerald. Thank you for coming in. I've got a couple where his boots and pants have some minor doubling. Yes. Did you ever find gold or platinum plated clad state quarters? I have found gold. I don't know if I don't recall finding any platinum plated. Maybe one. Maybe, but I don't remember. I don't remember if I did or not. I know they're out there. I see a lot of people finding them here and there. They often confuse you for, you kind of feel like they should be silver when you see the edge of them because they're so bright, but unfortunately they are not. Got to pick up something for tomorrow's short now. Well, let me give you an idea, Indigon. I don't know if you know or not, but there are a lot of DDRs on the Harper's Ferry and the Homestead quarters. You could probably pull one of those out. Got 3 platinums and 1 gold plated so far. Coin hunting couple used to find those holographic coins way back. I've never seen one of those. I've never found one of those, I should say, out in circulation, but those would be fun to find. Maybe it was because it was in their area. I don't know. Sure would be nice if they were still coin hunting, which they may be doing on their own time. What is up, Kyle? Thanks for coming in. Alaska extra claw for the short, yeah. Yeah, so if anybody, let's see, your hands from the quarters kind of reminds me when I was a young kid with a newspaper route and I had to fold them by hand and deliver them and my hands would turn black from the ink. Yes, bellows. I did the same thing. My brother had a paper route for a long time, and then when he got done with it, then I kind of took over. And I had the same, I had the same thing going on, exactly. But what I was going to say was, oh, they still play a lot of Fortnite? That's cool. I don't know if I'm friends with them on the games. Anyway, now what was I going to say? I totally forgot. What was I talking about, chat? Come on. Purists hate them, but the higher points are sick. Yeah. I found painted ones and stickered ones and all that, but I haven't found any of the holographic. Okay. So many Denvers. Coin Quester, welcome. Hey, thanks for coming in. Oh, I know. Yeah, you just reminded me, Dirty Water. So Dirty Water does have a short series of holograms. I have never watched any of those, and I have planned to sit down and watch them all. But I saw them as they were going through, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and look at them. And then, I don't know. I apologize for not having seen them all yet. But the other thing I was going to say was if you enjoy varieties and stuff, if you're not subbed up to Indigon, go sub him up, because he's been doing a short a day since the beginning of the year, and he's doing one every day this year with a new variety. So, or not a brand new variety, but every day is a different variety. So it really can open your eyes to some that you may never have seen before, something you might see that you really would like to find. I know I've seen some that I'm like, oh, I knew that might be, something like that's out there, but in particular, I didn't know that particular one or whatever. That's kind of what inspired me to do the August, unattributed varieties, because I thought, well, he's doing stuff like that. I'm not going to duplicate what he's doing. But I was trying to figure out what kind of thing could I, kind of educate people on, and Well, maybe some that aren't attributed. Not when you're forever treasure and change wants you to do it forever, Indigon. I could imagine that moving your daughter into the dorm. Sorry, Coin Quester. I can imagine how tired he is of having to to make those videos, just because it's tough to, gosh, make them like all the time, right? I'm gonna look at that. All right, what time is it? How long have we been going? Like 2 hours? Jeez Louise. What is going to happen in September? Are you talking about me, or are you talking about just in general? I'll be doing great to make it a year. You are doing great, Indigon. It's fantabulous what you've been doing. Okay, so here's the question. I'm more than halfway through the box. I've got 22 rolls left. Here's what I can do. And I hate to do it, but let me know if you think we should just kind of edge roll the rest of the rolls right now for see if we can find any silver, something like that. And then I can go check the rest of it later, but I do have a few that I want to look under the scope too and show you, and a few that I want to weigh. And I just thought it might be more interesting to do some of that than to continue to go through every quarter for you. So let me know what you think. Love your August series, way more detailed than what I will look for if I love seeing. Well, you know, you never know though, Coin Quester. You might see one and go, oh, I really want that, you know, or whatever. I was doing good stacking up a week at a time. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, Treasure and Change, is seeing stuff that you didn't know was out there. And then if you like that kind of stuff, looking for it, you know. Edge hunt, they're not dimes. See now, Indigon, I say that about dimes, right? You guys go, oh, I'm gonna edge hunt. I just, you know, I'm not saying I won't go back through every coin. I'm just saying that way you wouldn't have to, you know, watch it all. Weighing for dime stock, yes, that's what I was talking about. EP, I've got a few. What are you weighing? Oh, yes. So yeah, so there are certain years. There's the 70Ds, 74, 79s, 80s, I think. I don't know if there's any 80s recorded, but 80s definitely have a potential, so I weigh them too. I don't hate dimes, just rosies. Dimes have great clashes, that is correct. So you guys aren't answering me. What do you think? Let me get some more. I need a place to put these if I'm going to do that, because I don't want to have them in my discards. Hey, Eric. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Let's see. Where can I put all these? I'll be right back. Talk so much yourselves. Let me find. Here we go. Okay. I have a small box I can use. A dime box where I can put all these. Here, what are you wearing? EPU loves scope coins. Well, we will take a look at a few of them. I pulled out some that I wouldn't mind looking at. So we are just gonna kind of zip through and see if we can't find. Where am I gonna put this? Ooh. My area is so cluttered with coins everywhere. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I hope that I know a lot of people have made comments that that they find it helpful. So I hope that is the case, because that was kind of the goal. And I tried to pick out some that either I thought were really cool, or on coin designs that aren't really talked about as much. So that people would know, and hopefully it's helping. Not seeing any yet. That one's newer because it's kind of thick. What is that? 2025, and it's going to be Juliet. Anything off the radar is good to look at. Yeah, I thought it would be fun that way. I hope, EPU, I hope. Next live, I should try to add a sub counter. How do you know how to go about doing that, Dirty Water? Because I mean, I've got my daughter's boyfriend who knows how to do a lot of stuff. That's all bent to crud. No, I am using I'm just streaming through OBS, Indigon. I thought it's easier for me kind of because I get to use a camera rather than my phone, because I don't really like to no flipping clue. I don't like to tie up my phone just in case anything happens. I got people I have to worry about. I'm not worried about them, but I got kids, I got old mom, I got people that I need to answer to if they need me. What's this ugly one? Well, that's a 69. Is that a... Let me look. Oh, well. Can't tell if that's just toned or... I was thinking railroad rim, kind of, but it's not. It's just very dark. Very dark, but you gotta check everything, I'll use my phone, which is not ideal, obviously. Well, I mean, it works fine. Yes, but YouTube changed the format of subs, so I have to redo it. Well, EP, I may want that. I may want that help. That would be interesting to have, for sure. I could real quick go over here and look at the number. And looks like, I don't know, looks like we've gone up about 10 subs maybe since yesterday. I don't know if that's all from this live stream, but I mean, that's better than nothing. That's really cool. I appreciate everyone that's subbed up. And I'll mention again that I plan on doing a giveaway, hopefully a live stream giveaway, in the month of September. And I will put out a comment video ahead of time, so because I want to try to do, you know, probably the bigger prizes or whatever from the comment video, so that everybody gets a chance and they don't have to be there for the live stream. I think that's always nicer. But then I want to also just there are some things I want to give away during the live stream, so I need to figure out if I'm going to do some kind of wheel or a duck race, or what I'm going to do as far as you know, how to let the people in the chat win stuff. Wish YouTube had a real-time watch hours counter. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, but it's usually several days behind, isn't it? No silver, no silver. And I'll try and do yay wheels and ducks. What's up, Kittle? Are you playing Rocket League tonight? I know Mark was very interested in playing some Rocket League. He asked me if I was gonna join you guys. And I was just saying my daughter got a computer from her boyfriend, and they downloaded Fortnite, and they're wanting me to play a few games with them before they go to bed. So I may have to do that a little bit. It's okay though to use wheels and ducks if we're not charging people, right? Mark has been messing. Yes, me too. Me too. Oh, that's funny. And hey, he likes to play with people. That's all, you know. It is funner, I will say, to play. I don't mind playing Rocket League by myself because, you know, the games are 5 minutes long, or maybe at the most about like 10 if there's a lot of scoring and all that good stuff. And I don't mind that being on a team of 3 or whatever it is. But Fortnite I find to be much more fun with people. And that's not just because I suck, because, you know, I actually win some games still playing solos, but I think my average, is 1 in 10. Because it gives you, you know, your win ratio and all that stuff. And I think I am about 10% as far as wins go when I'm playing solos. So, and that's usually after I play about 6 games and I lose, and then it gives me a bot lobby. So most of the guys I get to kill are bots. Alfred's been requesting Fallout. Yeah, he's been asking for a while for that. You might have to do that. Oh no. What did I do? Okay. I thought I messed something up. All right. What is that? Well, I almost thought that said 63. It's a 67. That would have been cool. Just a dirty coin. No shame in killing bots. That's right. Get second and third a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't find it very difficult, like, at least to get to top 10. But then if you hit that one guy that's going to win the game anyway, and you just... I have been winning more with the whole bus thing, you know, picking you up and taking you out. But you have to be careful with that too, because people like to either grenade you out or something like that. "2018, 2019, 2020 DDRs, dimes." Yes, cool. There's Mark. "Speak of the devil and he shall arrive." What's up, Mark? Thanks for coming over and visiting. I'm just trying to finish up this box now. If you do play Rocket League, set the stream up as a Power Wash stream, but play Rocket League and Print Mark. Well, too late now, Kyle. Now he knows. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Alright, let's see. Alright, last roll. Last roll. I don't think we're going to find any silver, but that's okay. I will do a short recap, too, if I find anything good when I'm going through stuff later. So if I happen to pull out a West Point or something, I'll let you guys know. And nothing there. Alright. So let me rearrange myself here. Okay, that's that and that. And then we will, I didn't pull them all out, but first thing we can do is we can try and weigh these guys. Let's see. Can you guys even see that? Let me see if I can make this bigger. Maybe you can see it better like that. This one I could just do away with. Let me actually hide that. Look at me, I'm learning. Alright. So maybe that'll help. So, yeah. Sorry, I am trying to look something here. Okay, so anyway. Alright, so these are, there's some 74s, some 79s, and basically what we're going to look for here is going to be quarters that are struck on dime stock. It's not going to be a quarter struck on a dime planchet, but what it was, you know, when they cut the planchets out, or they, you know, make them, basically, they use a big long sheet of metal or whatever, and it punches out, what are they called before they're planchets? Jesus, now I don't even remember. Anyway, so if they use the metal that is used normally for dimes, then it doesn't change the size of the planchet. It does make it a little bit thinner, so usually you have some light design around the edges. I did do, I think, didn't I do? I did a short on a 79 that I found that was on a dime planchet. But the weight of them is normally around 5.67, I think it is. And if you find one that's on a dime stock, then it's going to be like 4.2 to 4.4, something like that. So we're just blanks. Yes, thank you. God, my mind was a blank, right? What the hell? I'm an idiot. All right, well, but thank you. I'm glad we have smart people in here. Good night, Eric. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate it so much. And anyway, we're just going to weigh these real quick, and we're going to see. So that one's a little light, but 5.47 is not, that's just wear from circulation, basically. So any of these that are, if it's not below 5, like quite a bit, it's not on struck on dime stock. That one's a little heavy even. But obviously the metal can be rolled thicker or thinner, even for when they're cutting out the blanks for quarters in quarter stock. So it's not really. There is a variance that is acceptable for the U.S. Mint in the weights. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's right. All right, let's see. Now I'm gonna get my thing over here. We are gonna go to the setup for the microscope, and we're gonna look at a couple of these. Don't call me smart. Treasure and change. You're a nerd. You know you're smart. Come on. All right, so let's see. So we've got some. This is a. I don't have them segregated out into everything. Let me do that real quick. Hang on. So that we're looking at kind of all the same stuff at once. I didn't pull out too many, just about 20 or so. And this won't take long, but I just wanted to show a few things that I thought would be interesting. That one's not one. There's that. And another one of those. Okay. Alright, so the first ones we're going to look at are some Wisconsin Denvers. And the first thing, obviously, we're going to look for here is right in this area right there. There could be an extra engraved leaf that's either a high leaf or a low leaf. You're probably familiar with that. But the other thing we're going to look for is right around the snout of the cow, or on the left-hand side of the cheese. Even on Denver quarters, there are some DDRs, very small, minor ones. I don't see one here, but I do like to look for those. And we have another one here. Not seeing a leaf. Segregation is bad, okay? Yeah, well, not quite like that. I'm just... No, what is that? I'm looking at the tip of the nose. It looks like just some discoloration, not any doubling. Then we will look at... Where did I put my thing here? So we'll look at bicentennials, and these are all going to be Denver minted. We want the mint mark to be Denver. And there's a really, really nice obverse double die that even people that don't like these small double dies would go for, because they are pretty valuable. And they're also very hard to find. That's one reason why they're valuable. And I don't ever expect to find one, but I sure hope I do. And if I look long and hard enough, I did say long and hard, sorry, I will find one. That's the whole thing. You have to look a lot in order to find them, right? Cow looks like it ate some flaming hot Cheetos. Let's see. About to cave and buy the high and low leaf. Yeah. Hey, laptop guy. Thank you for coming in. Now we're going to look at District of Columbia. These particular ones are Denver. There are some DDRs on the Philadelphia as well, and they're all mostly related to like around in that keyboard area, also maybe around his fingers and stuff. But the big one that we're looking for on the Denver is going to be where you could see right there where the ELL is in Ellington. It would be coming down this way down to the lower right, and you would see another ELL because it's been rotated, and that's a super one that's pretty valuable as well. Also very difficult to find. you will find that the valuable ones are the difficult ones to find, generally. But I'm also looking, I also look in the area of the keyboards and stuff like that, just to make sure. I only pulled out one Harper's Ferry. Will it have doubling? Hold your breath. Oh, I don't see anything there, unfortunately. Well, better luck next time on that one. I just pulled that one out because it was really nice. Some of you may have seen one of my shorts on the Bombay hook. There are a lot of DDRs right in this grassy area. So I thought we'd take a look at one of these. I am not seeing anything that sticks out. If anybody sees something different, let me know. But basically you've got, doubling in the area, like in between these two pieces of grass, either from coming from the top grass down or the bottom grass up or down, that kind of thing. Yeah, usually they're fairly easy to identify if you do have one. There's also Perry's Victory. I don't know how many people look for these. A lot of people look for right there. There's usually it was pretty popular. There's a big die chip that can form on his shoulder right there, and they'd always be people looking for that. Only one Harper's. Yeah, I just pulled out one of the nicer looking ones to make it easy. But there is doubling. Oops, it's not right on there. There is doubling right along his pant leg or whatever this is, off of his coat tail or whatever. There is doubling that protrudes off of there as well, which I like to look for. I also check, just in case there's anything else on his legs or coattails or whatever, just because. And nothing on that one. I did buy an entire roll of BU Perry's Victory, and it was a roll that came from like a bankroll, and somebody just put it into a plastic capsule, or plastic tube whenever they got it, because they were all BU, and I did find that a DDR on about 3 of those out of there that was the same, DDR. This one's an Ozark Riverways, Missouri quarter, and there's a bunch of places to look here. You can look, like the most of the DDRs, like the highest volume of them, are in this little window down here, but there's also some in the other windows, and I'm not really seeing anything in this one. Let me take a look with my loupe just to be sure, because they're so hard to see. Yeah, I don't see anything. There are also ones on this right-hand side of this tree, like right up here in this area, and those can get pretty large. Then we've got the leaves of the trees up here. There's also some up in this area. I'm not seeing any, but I like to look at those because they're definitely fun ones to find. I like the ones in the leaves and the trees. Let's see, about to start a HF rebellion over here. Harper's Ferry. Kyle Preston says, I need to start looking at more quarters for varieties. I only search for W and the Bicentennial DDO. Well, I mean, Kyle, if you like the little stuff, then definitely, I would say. Now we've got some, this is, what's her name? Maya Angelou. And these are Philadelphia mints. And there are a couple of really nice double dies right here in this earring. So that's what we're looking for. It's kind of like an extra earring. like the one that's most popular was the first one that was found, I think, and you can really see that there's like an extra earring there, which to me could be eventually be something that they might put in the cherry picker's guide because it's really cool. But I got a couple of those that were in decent shape, and I'm not seeing anything there. The other thing you can look for that people found interesting too, yeah, Indigon says there's a decent one on the railing too. Sorry, I didn't look at that part, did I apologize. I missed that. I forgot. Probably wasn't anyway, but you know. And what a lot of people used to look for, or probably still do, I do, there's a die gouge that goes right through the tip of that dove's beak, and it's like people said it was carrying like grass or something, you know. But it's just it's a die gouge, so it's not really anything that's like super valuable or anything, but pretty cool to find. I had a couple of nice coins that are Mount Rushmore. These are the worst to identify, but you can find a lot of double dies right there in the bridge of the nose. That part at the top, that's normal. Right there, that's normal. That's not doubling, but that's kind of what the doubling looks like. It's usually down somewhere in this area on that nose, and I'm not seeing it, but I pulled these two out because they were really nice coins. And I will say that 9 times out of 10, or 8 times out of 10 maybe, you do find some sort of doubling there. It's like more prominent than not on these things, and there's so many different kinds of them, which is why it's hard to attribute them. Let's see. We may be down to the... Well, no, hang on. What else was I going to look for here? I guess that was it. The other coin I had sitting here was that scratched up one that's just trash. So yeah, I guess that's it. I guess we are about done. These are just some decent coins that I had, but yeah, anybody have any questions? The 01 earring is super common though. Yeah, you're right, and it may not ever make it in there because it's more common. But it is really super nice too, so I love it. I found like 1 or 2, I think, at the most, but definitely worth looking for them. But yeah, if nobody has any questions, I think we'll leave it there. Like I said, number one, I will follow up and I'll do just a brief short if I find anything really cool, which I might. You never know. Especially when we look through all of the candidates for the double dies. Did I check the homesteads for the nice double pump? I didn't yet, laptop guy. I didn't see like any that were like super nice, so they're in my pile to go through. I will look through them and make sure that I don't have them, or I do have them either way. But I didn't pull any out to scope right now because I didn't want to take forever doing scoping stuff. Although it is more fun to me than just the looking part. But when is my next stream? That's a good question. I don't have one planned at the moment, CoinQuester, but I will. I do have 2 more boxes of quarters that I will need to go through within the next week or so. So I may do another one. I may do another one either this weekend maybe or beginning of next week. Not real sure. But also tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central is Livecoin Q&A, which I'm on that panel. If you're not familiar with us, go and you can check on any of my videos except for this one because I had to immediately redo my the video because the first one crashed. So there's no real description in this one. But if you go to any of my videos, there's links for the Livecoin Q&A YouTube channel and also our Facebook group where you can post coins And if you have something that you have questions about, and there's a lot of people in there that are really smart and will help answer your questions. So there's that. What else? I guess that's about all I had. Sounds like a perfect time for a quarter box battle. It does, Alfred. And I was thinking about. I know Indigon's got quite a few boxes, or he did have. I don't know if he's gone through all of them. But maybe at some point we could get together and do something like that. Can you do a cheat sheet of the ones you look for that are usually worth more than others? I could, but I would say that probably most of the cheat sheet is just like the cherry picker's guide, because those are going to be the ones that are usually worth the most. I don't really have anything that is specific. I do have like a spreadsheet for. I'm trying to do one for each denomination of the stuff that I look for, but it's also a very long list because of everything that could be out there. But yeah, I don't know if that would be as helpful or not. Indigon says, I'd rather attribute 1,000 Harper's Ferries than a single Mount Rushmore. I agree. I totally agree with that. Let's see. Finish rolling those dimes. Not a moment too soon. Great timing. Awesome. Treasure and change. Thanks for sharing the hunt. Thank you, Alex, for coming. Appreciate you all coming. Absolutely. And looks like, my God, we're up to like 38 likes. That's incredible. So thank you all so much for that. Guess I should buy. No, Kyle, you don't really have to even necessarily buy the Cherry Picker's Guide, because here's the other thing that I do. I don't sit and go through the Cherry Picker's Guide every time I'm hunting. And I mean, I know a lot of things, but I certainly don't know all the things to be looking for. But sometimes what I'll do, since PCGS or NGC are really good at attributing Cherry Picker's Guide varieties, they don't do other things very much, but since they do the Cherry Picker's Guide, sometimes I just go down the list. Like I'll pull up, for example, if I was doing Washington quarters, I could go look at Washington quarters on the PCGS price guide, and where it says 1965 or whatever, it's got that little plus mark beside it, and if you click on that, it'll drop down and it'll show you, oh, there's a big DDO on this one, or whatever the variety might be. And then if I want to see what it looks like, then I go to like either doubledie.com, Wexler's site, or Variety Vista, and see if they've got pictures, because most of the time they do. And then I go from there. So you really don't necessarily even have to have a Cherry Picker's Guide to find or know about a lot of this stuff. But it is helpful. I mean, I like to look through it, and it's got a lot of good information. A quarter box hunt tomorrow, Indigon says, maybe tomorrow evening, for those that are interested. So if you want to see another quarter box hunt, Indigon will do one. He won't take as long as I have, for God's sake, please don't. He goes through them a little faster than I do, but quarters is his thing too. So maybe tomorrow, keep an eye out if you want to. Don't limit yourself to the Cherry Picker's Guide, because you'll overlook a lot of nice ones. There are a lot of nice newer ones, definitely, that don't even, I mean, they haven't even had time to be considered for probably the Cherry Picker's Guide. But there are a lot of nice ones if you like that kind of thing, for sure. Do I look at the picture on PCGS in the drop down? Sometimes I do, G-Dub, and one reason why is because I will say Wexler's is usually a lot better to show you like dye markers for a lot of the varieties that are out there. Variety Vista does have on some coins, will show you markers that will help you determine if you've got the right one. But sometimes there's like no distinct dye markers that they list, and a lot of times I want to see I want to see the whole coin. I don't just want to see the very specific part that I'm looking at if it's hard to find. So like for one of the reasons why I do that too is because I like to cherry pick off of eBay. So when you're looking at a coin on eBay, pictures suck, right? I mean, most of the time there are some sellers that are big sellers that have some real good photography equipment and that kind of thing. But for the most part, you're looking at people's, really bad picture jobs or whatever. And that's where you can find like sometimes the most bizarre stuff or good stuff that you can cherry pick because those people don't really look for those kinds of things or whatever. So I like to look at the entire coin and I pick out things for myself and I'm like, "Oh, I can see that there is a big die gouge behind Lincoln's ear or whatever it is that would help me determine whether or not, even if their pictures are cruddy, I could take a chance on this coin maybe having that variety because of some other trait on that coin." Now, it's always preferred that you do not look for die markers prior to looking for the variety. Like a die marker can be similar and it doesn't mean that you've got the variety. So but die markers help you determine if you do have a specific variety or not after you've found it. So yeah, but I do look at the full pictures. I like looking at PCGF's pictures because obviously they have great equipment. They do a great job with that. So it is a resource definitely to use. NGC Variety Plus is also a great resource. I don't generally mention it, but it's a lot easier to go through, like say if you were going to do Franklin's or something. Night Kyle, thank you for coming. If you were going to do Franklin's or something like that, and you go to NGC Variety Plus, you'll click on their buttons to get to the, Benjis, and it will start with the first year, and they're all listed out. You don't have to like go click on a specific year or anything like that. You just scroll down and you can see pictures of, stuff that's either cherry pickers varieties or stuff that they have, because NGC does do some attributing of some smaller stuff themselves. So there are NGC VP varieties that are out there, in which case they would actually attribute those in their grading system. So that's another good resource to look at as well. But yeah, any place you can get really nice pictures and see good pictures of them, it's always helpful. Because a lot of times, even then, a lot of times I can't. There are certain varieties that I just have to see a coin in hand, or I'm not going to be able to find it. Going forward. So, hey Michael, thanks for coming in. We are getting ready to wrap up, but we're just sitting here talking for a minute. Let's see if I missed anything. I wish Wexler's was organized like Variety Vista. Yeah, it would. It would be a little easier. I think Variety Vista is a little easier to navigate sometimes, but there's pluses and minuses for both of them, I guess. So, anybody have any other thing that they want to talk about or questions at this point? If not, then I will let you all get out of here because I know it's been forever and I apologize for that. Stop by, give up a like, bud. Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that, Michael. And thank you everybody that has subscribed and has come out to watch. We are up to 40 likes. My goodness, it's much better than I thought we'd do. So awesome. But I think that's about it. If anybody doesn't have anything else, go check out, maybe Indigon will have a quarter box hunt tomorrow night. Prior to that, then like I say, check out the Livecoin Q&A. We're going to have a live stream and there'll be some good stuff there.